Hello again. Alright, so this time we are going to set up our character's base equipment, which she's already got on. So in my player blueprint, I'm going to need to add a bunch of variables that will be all item info types, and the first one is going to be chest armor info, the item info type, the item info struct. Add another one, leg armor info, glove info, belt info, and then boots info. Boots is the hardest word for me to remember. I don't know why. Oh, we need one more. Helm info, since we'll set it up to where it'll also affect her headpiece. So now with all of these established, we need to actually tell it what they're going to be. So we'll create a new function called Initialize gear, and we'll need this because when we unequip these, we want them to be able to be picked up correctly. So we will get data table row, I'll actually do this on a for loop. Actually, no, we can't. Alright, we'll just do it this way. This will be more of a pain in the butt, but it'll work more reliably. So let's get our chest armor info, split that struct open, and then toString, no. Let's not split it, let's just break it. Because if we split it, then we gotta do it individually for each one. But if we break it, then we can just copy and paste and then swap out that chest armor for another one. So we'll do toString, plug that in, it'll automatically convert to a name. We want the items data table. And then before we continue any further, let's just grab all this and copy with Control-C. So now, since we're doing the chest armor here, we will plug in the chest armor there and do the out row. Control-V so that we can paste it in. Leg armor info to the break, and leg armor info to the out. And then Control-V to paste one more time. Glove info. Glove info. Control-V. Belt. And belt. Boots. Boots. And for the final one will be the helm info. Just like that. But since we haven't actually established a helmet yet, I'm going to go ahead and just disable that right now. So now we need a way to actually reflect what our character has. Well, before we jump to that, let's just go ahead and set up peasant chest, peasant pants, peasant gloves. Basically, you want to establish whatever your character's starting armor is going to be. This is belt, peasant belt. Boots is peasant boots. Then helm will be the helm, but not right now. So, can we do this from the construction script? Yeah, so as soon as our character spawned into the world, it'll initialize the gear. And then here in the inventory, we will go ahead and set up a secondary panel to display the gear she has. So let's get our canvas panel that has our inventory. We can right click and then duplicate it. And then we can just move it into place. Let's see, position Y is 0, so it's right in line with that one. Alright, so this one will be our gear window. We don't need it to be quite as big, so its size X will actually be 200, 100. Yeah, 100 looks good. And then instead of having a scroll box that we no longer need, we will just take our inventory panel out, delete that scroll box, and we can call this our gear panel. It no longer needs to be a variable because we're going to manually set this one. So we'll anchor it to our whole canvas panel, and then just like that. Alright, so we're going to need a few buttons in here to reflect what we are wearing. So I'm going to add a button, align it to the center, set its size like that. No, that looks terrible. Image size. So we'll do 75 by 75. Is that how big that button's gonna be? Is that how big? Yeah, it looks like that's how big our okay. That'll be fine. Might need to make this a little longer, but this one will be our headpiece, so we'll duplicate this, drop it down. That is a chest piece. Duplicate, drop it down. That is head, chest, gloves, pants. These need to be smaller. I'm gonna say 60 by 60. I mean, you can customize them however you want, but it just seems too big. So head, chest, gloves, belt, pants, and then one more, boots. So let's rename them real quick. So this is helm, chest, gloves, belt, pants, boots, and that'll be fine. So now in the graph over here we can do a custom event called update gear panels, whatever. So after this has created all our inventory, we can call our update gear panels function. And on the update gear panels, we want to get our player reference. And we are going to be setting the style of each button, just like we did in the inventory icon, to reflect what we are currently having equipped. So we will get helm info, get chest info, pants info. I must have called it something else. Leg armor info. Let's see. Gloves info. That's 4. Belt info. And then boots info. So now for each one of these, we're basically going to be breaking them open and then setting the style of the button. So we will set style. We're not going to worry about applying the text to it in the style. We'll just we'll break this open, because just like we did earlier, we can kind of copy and paste in order to cut down on some of the workload. So from the normal, we will make slate brush, and from the item image, we'll just plug that in right there. And then from the image size, let's just change that to 60 by 60. I don't know if that'll have an effect on it, but let's just in case. And then from the hover, we will make slate brush also 60 by 60 item image into the item image. And then the tint we'll do just like last time, make slate color all the way to the white and then 0.1 on the V. Just like that. And so I know this seems like a lot, but we can now just copy, paste. We don't want to copy the button though. But what we want to do now is pick our next one. We'll do chest. And what we'll do here is drop this down, and plug in our chest. And then we can, I'm just going to go ahead and recopy this because I grabbed the chest on accident. So copy, paste. Now I don't have to readjust the button every time. And then the next one I'm doing is leg armor. So pants, plug in the button. Control V to paste. And we'll do, what's the next one? Gloves. So plug in the glove to the brake, and then plug in the gloves to the button. Control V. Next one is belt. Right there. And then belt. And then Control V one more time, and we got that last one. We got that last one that is boots. I think. Boots. Alright. Come on. There we go. And boots. Just like that. Sweet. So now when we jump in and we open it up, we got all our gear that's currently equipped all showing up right there. She doesn't actually have boots, but I can change that in a minute. And she doesn't have a helmet, but we'll do that later. Whoa. What in the world? Where is your torso? Has it been like that the whole time? Okay. Oh, does that mean? I'll do that off camera. I think I have to go back and readjust my materials in my data table. Well, I'll just do it real quick. That's upsetting. I didn't realize she was a ghost that whole time. Oh no, it looks like it's got the right one. Nice. Okay. So now we got our gear showing up that we currently have equipped, and she's no longer ghost chested. Now, one thing you'll notice is that if we pick up stuff with the inventory open, it won't reflect. But what we can do real quick is in our menu, we can add a custom event right here above the construct. So we'll add a custom event called refresh menu. Plug it in right there, and then every time we pick up an item, we can get our HUD reference, our menu reference. Actually, let's do it in the event graph. So on pickup item, we will just get our menu widget reference, convert it to a validated get, and if it is valid, then we will call that refresh menu function. So now if it's open and we pick stuff up, it's updating. So we'll save real quick. And what we will need now is to make sure this ain't going on too long. It's another longer one. I try not to make these too long. I know it takes up a lot of y'all's time. I try not to, but this is more intensive stuff. That's why I'm kind of going a little bit faster in these videos, because I don't want to take up too much of y'all's time, but I want to give you all the information at the same time. So now we have, let's make sure the warrior stuff is picking up appropriately. Neat. So now we'll start working on the swapping armor sets out functionality in the next one. But on camera, I'm going to go ahead and on our interact trace, just turn that debug type off, because it's doing what we want it to. I will go ahead and increase this to 120 though, just so it hits the ground a little bit better. And we'll save that real quick. And in the next one, we'll start working on clicking stuff. So see you soon. Bye.